Okay, since there wasn't much for tire tanks on YouTube, I thought I'd create one. There was only one on there, but it was a very tiny tank, and there was no plumbing involved. So here's mine. This is a 12-foot tire tank. Just finished drilling the well. The well is about 250 feet. Static water is 100 foot. Well pump is set at 150 feet. Run off of solar. Two 195 watt panels each, 195 each, pumping about 4.5 gallons a minute. That's probably a conservative estimate. Right now it's humming pretty good. In the center here, there's 3-inch PVC pipe that's used as a sleeve. I got that down a couple of feet and then elbowed over to the perimeter of the tank, somewhere a foot outside of it, and it's just a sleeve. Because it picks up the 1-inch poly pipe that comes up through the sleeve, the 3-inch PVC sleeve, and then I put a cap on the top of that 3-inch PVC, drill the 1-inch hole, and then stub the 1-inch poly pipe up through it, and then put a T there just for the drain for now. I'm going to get everything running, make sure all the levels are right and heights are right for this drain, and then I'll make everything a little more permanent. But right now it's just a T that's put into that 1-inch poly that comes out of the 1-inch hole I drilled in the cap, and then I just put some electrical tape around it to get it going for now to make sure everything's right, and then I'll come back and glue everything and seal it a little more permanently. I'll put a big iron grate around that so I'm not sucking in all the moss and everything else. But that's 1-inch poly. That is in a trenched hole that goes about 400 feet all the way down there to the bottom of the hill. That feeds another tire tank, and again I sleeve that right about the perimeter of the tank. I installed a 3-inch PVC and sleeved it. Comes up, feeds that tire tank, and then there's an overflow in that comes back out, and then it'll drain down there to a retention pond. I got to build a berm for that. There's also just about 20 feet before it, you can't see it, but about 20 feet before the tank, there's a hydrant that I teed in. That's just all gravity flow in case I need to run a pressure washer or something for whatever reason. It's there as well. Back to the tire tank, I filled this with dirt for the most part because I had to level the ground here. I'm on a little bit of a slope, so some of that dirt I put back into the tank and filled it up, left it a few inches from the rim of the tire here, and then flattened it out, and then used about 9 80-pound bags of concrete in this 12-foot tire. So there's about 9 bags of dry concrete. The concrete goes down in this rim about 2 or 3 inches, about 3 inches, so it should create a pretty good seal. So this is a dome that goes over it and goes down about 3 inches, so as the water fills up and turns this concrete into concrete, it should provide a pretty good seal over the top of this. The tank down there is a little bit smaller. I think it's a 10-footer, and I think I used about 7 bags in it. So there you have it. One last thing, I use Schedule 80 1-inch PVC. I don't recommend that. I recommend a minimum of 100, maybe even more, 120. Not because of the PSI, obviously, because it's all gravity flow, but because it's thicker walled and it'll last a little longer. I had a deal on 80 PSI, so I used it. But anyway, there you have it.